Something extremely exciting happened that I don't think either of us were expecting to happen today. We have thought about it quite a bit. We've talked about it quite a bit. Danny? We got a dog! We got a puppy! So, oh, look at him. He's resting his head. Oh, no. Okay, we haven't named him yet, but his given name is Draco, as in Draco Malfoy. What the? So we're changing that as soon as possible. We're trying to think of some names soon. He's straight chilling right now, so really excited about this. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel.
A little bit of hair.
Oh, if we haven't met yet, my name is Becca and this is a channel about plants, but today I'm going to be talking about my new puppy and we're going to be telling you his adoption story. Oh, sorry. This is my husband, Daniel.
Oh, hey.
You might recognize him from 2 videos that he's been in the past. You should definitely watch them if you haven't already. Today, we want to introduce you to our sweet, sweet puppy. This is Leo. He's just sitting there. You're so cute.
What's going on in here?
Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is Leo. He is a cockapoo, they think. And I say that because we rescued him. So they're not 100% sure what he is, but they are pretty sure that he is a Cocker Spaniel and Poodle mix. Making the word cockapoo, which is incredibly uncomfortable for most people to say, including myself, but that is the breed of dog that he is. This is about full grown for him. So anyway, Daniel, would you like to talk about the day that we got him?
Sure. So basically, we went to this Petco thing. It was like a rescue dog event thing. So our plan was just kind of go there and just see what it's like, check it out. Yeah, we just kind of walked in, saw some of the dogs, and then saw this guy. And then next thing we know, he went home with a puppy.
Petco and PetSmart usually have adoption days on Saturdays for pets who live in foster homes because their shelter organization doesn't have a big facility. And actually, I am glad that he came from something like that. Not that shelters are bad at all, because I've gotten many dogs from shelters, but I think just like a foster system is really good for dogs, and I wish that that was possible on a larger scale. Wait, I didn't even say where he's from. That's the best part of the story. So when we were talking with the organization that was there on that adoption day, they basically told us that Leo is a dog that was saved as a stray from Mexico. So if you didn't know, Arizona and Tucson sits right above Mexico, so it's like a 5-hour drive type of thing. And so we're really, really close. So maybe they kind of like scout out Mexico for dogs that are being taken in, because they told us that Mexico doesn't really have a shelter situation, and basically they will hold a dog that gets brought in for about 72 hours, and then after that, if it's not claimed, they just euthanize it. And so I guess they were there at the right time. They saw Leo in there, and he's been in the United States for about a month, and he's been fixed. He's got all of his shots, and so we kind of are getting him on the last half of the puppy stage. Leo is 9 months old. He's a puppy still, so we're kind of like learning what it is to train a puppy and just trying to like...
Favorite chew toy?
Yeah, this is his favorite chew toy. Incredible. Thankfully, he is an older puppy, so there wasn't the whole hurdle of like sleeping through the night being an issue. He just cries for a little bit before he falls asleep, which is, I guess, normal. The crying has become less and less, and it hasn't even been a week since we've had him, so for both of us, this is our first time bringing home a dog, like separated from our parents. We thought a lot about getting a dog for a couple months. It had been a thought, and finally Daniel decided that he would be okay with me being a little bit more active in my searches. I work from home, if you didn't know. I work as a marketing coordinator, so I'm alone all day long unless I'm out at a meeting, and that's really only like once a month. So I was having a very lonely life and I really was wanting a companion. So that is really the reason that we got Leo, and we actually just got lucky. We were not expecting to bring home a dog that day. It was within 45 minutes of walking in and leaving with the dog. So it happened really, really fast.
Sorry.
There's just a random Wookiee popping up in the video. Leo's foster mom was very attached to her. And when we told her that we live in an apartment, because if you didn't know, we live in an apartment on the 2nd story with no balcony, so there's no like outdoor space for him to go and just chill for a little bit. She was very, very reluctant when she learned this about us, and she basically said, no, you can't adopt the dog because you live in an apartment. We also saw them deny some people because they were college students. We've noticed a lot of the time people can be very particular with who they adopt a dog to, which is actually a good thing, but it can be frustrating if you know that you're a good candidate to adopt a dog and you keep getting rejected. Our dog, Leo, goes for a walk at least twice a day and then goes out potty like however many times he needs. So that is way more than a lot of dogs get, even if their parents live in a house. So I think that once I explained that I work from home and that the dog would literally only be left alone for like 1 to 2 hours a day, they were a little bit more receptive. We instantly knew that Leo would be a great fit because, I mean, he's so soft and he's so sweet and... Anyway, that's not the reasons that we really wanted him, but we wanted a dog that was hypoallergenic or at least didn't shed as much as other breeds. And because he's mixed with poodle, he doesn't shed really at all. For us, we just wanted a dog that would be super low maintenance in that department. Now, as far as his personality, man, he's the sweetest dog. He has the best personality in the whole world. Like, he's just down here playing, chilling, just living his best life. And when we first brought him home, we were just so amazed and shocked by how good he was. Like, he was so well behaved, so calm in the car. It was amazing. Now that it's been a few days, so we adopted him on Saturday, so that was 5 days ago. So we've only had him for 5 days, and his personality has just bloomed. Like, he is such a spunky and fun dog, full of so much life, which is so sweet. And he loves to roll around in the grass. He loves running around. He's chasing birds. He's saying hi to everybody he can. He does really well on a leash so far. But the one thing that he does that is just so funny to me, I've never seen a dog do this before. Whenever we're on a walk together and he smells something interesting or new, he will just stop in his tracks and just like, he's like intoxicated by whatever he's smelling, like paralyzed. So like there's no such thing as a quick walk with Leo because he is sniffing everything, which is totally fine, totally normal. This is a new place, new country, and he's a puppy, so I would expect nothing less than for him to be super curious. I guess that's all I have to say about him off the top of my head. That was quite a bit. So let me make sure that there aren't any questions from you guys on Instagram. It didn't even upload.
Awkward.
This video is all about Leo and he hasn't even really been in it because he's just playing. Okay, well it just uploaded, so we're gonna wait a few minutes and just play with Leo and see what happens. Okay, so it is the next day. I wanted to allow some time for the questions to come in. I think there was only one question that didn't get answered, and that is, how did we come up with his name? And basically, when we were naming him, I know that I really like human names for dogs. Like, it's just the greatest thing in the world. I had a friend growing up and her dog's name was Dave, and I thought it was literally the funniest thing ever. So basically, I said that to Daniel. I was like, I like human names for dogs. And then he was like, He said Leo, and I was like, huh, I really like that name. Like, Leo's name was almost Arthur, like with Artie for short, but when he said Leo, it just kind of felt right, and like, we looked at him, we were like, Leo? And he knows his name now. It took a little bit for him to know his name, but now he knows it, so every time I say his name, he kind of was like, what do you want? We love Leo because, number one, Leo is like lion-hearted. I think it means like lion-hearted or something like that. It's also Daniel's star sign, which is really fun. Since we're on the subject, I'm an Aries, if you're wondering, but sometimes I feel more like a Pisces. But as I'm getting older, I'm like, I'm definitely an Aries. I feel like I should address how he's doing with the plants, like if he's curious about them. When we brought him in, I was very aware that a lot of my plants are poisonous to animals, and I have over time started to move my plants off of the floor anyway, and so when we brought him in, I don't have any plants that just sit on the floor in the pot. A lot of my plants are in stands, so they're up a little bit higher, and since he is kind of short as it is, he is not able to chew on those plants, and also he doesn't show an interest in my plants unless I am like putting them in his face, and then he wants to play because he's a puppy, of course. So I'm sitting down to repot a plant and he's like, "What's that?" and is trying to eat it. Other than that, he has not been interested in the plants at all. Like, no digging in the soil, no trying to pee on them, not chewing on the leaves, and which is definitely a relief because I was super concerned knowing that a lot of my plants are poisonous to dogs. So also with that in mind though, I'm not just kind of like hoping that he doesn't chew on them. I'm definitely going to go through all of my plants and find out which ones specifically are poisonous so that I can move them so that he literally could never access them, which is most of my plants. So it's definitely going to be interesting, like dog proofing my plant collection. Most generally, he really doesn't show interest in them whatsoever, which is definitely a relief. Yeah, that's basically what it's been like having him and adopting him. That's his adoption story and what the first basically week of his life with us has been like. If you have any additional questions, go ahead and leave them down below, but I did answer all of the questions that were given to me in the question box within this video. So if I didn't catch your question or you're just wanting to know more about Leo, we can definitely talk about it in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. This will definitely not be the last you see of him. He is such a sweet addition to our family. Oh, you don't want attention? Like I said at the beginning of the video, this is a plant channel, so if you're here because you saw like dog adoption video, definitely stick around if you like houseplants. I'm really excited to have you here if that's how you found me. Thank you so much for watching this video for all of my friends who are returning, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Say bye, Leo! Bye! Thank you so much to Brandy Branches Out in the UK for tagging their indoor jungle, Loughborough Indoor Jungle. So excited to see all of these entries coming in. If you want to be featured here, make sure that you tag your city plus indoor jungle and tag me in the photo so that I can see it.